Welcome back to Last Play. We're still reeling from the death of Franz here.
It's like that Liam Neeson movie, Taken 5! The revenge I feel, the revenge of Ford.
Did they only release 3?
I don't know how many times
man.
can be taken.
They definitely reached 3, I just don't know if they went further than that.
I don't actually know. I was surprised that they got to 3. How many times can the same person statistically be kidnapped if they're not the president of the United States?
It's different people being kidnapped all the time.
Man.
No, I thought
first
it was
time
the
it's
same
his
person.
daughter. First time it's his daughter, and the second time it's his wife. And I don't know about the third one.
How many
The third time
times
it's
can statistically
himself.
It's
people
probably
be
both, honestly.
Statistically, how many times can one person have
Okay,
their
but it's not
people
about
kidnapped?
statistics because he's a secret agent man.
But if he's a secret agent, he must not be a very good one because obviously it's not so
Yeah,
secret.
but grudges because he went and killed people because he's like, you took my daughter, so
He
I'm
did
gonna
have a
kill you."
particular set of skills.
He
Yeah.
has a
Yeah.
particular set of skills.
They should probably stop, attacking him
But,
in
like,
that specific
if I
way,
was a
though, because it
secret
doesn't seem to be
agent-
working out.
And I was good at my job, my daughter probably wouldn't be taken because they wouldn't know that I'm a secret agent.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Well,
pointing
but
it
that's
out.
not why she was taken in the first one. That's not why.
Oh.
She went. Okay, so she went to Europe with her friend to follow
Quick
this
synopsis,
band.
the movie Taken.
Yeah, so she goes. His daughter goes to Europe with her friend Amanda, I believe is her name, to follow a band they like on
To become
tour.
groupies. Alright.
And
Next.
so then the infamous sex trafficking of North American women in Europe happens to his daughter. So they kidnap his daughter and her friend and throw
Quickly,
them into
they're
sex trafficking.
taken
They get them
and
addicted
into
to
a
drugs
van.
and sex traffic them and sell them. And then he has to find
Everything
the people
goes to
that
hell.
his daughter was sold to.
He happens to be a secret agent and will get everybody back.
He watches her get auctioned off. It's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. But he has a gun to the head of one of the people in the auction and makes him buy her. And then that's it. It's pretty dope. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Liam Neeson movies are always pretty good. Because Liam Neeson is...
Liam Neeson's very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of good Liam Neeson movies, Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah!
Oh my
God
god.
racing!
Oh my god, I forgot. Oh my god. Because when that came out, I was not old enough to know who Liam Neeson is or recognize him.
Yeah.
So I totally
Bad
forgot.
idea it is to accept this Padawan. No, you have to do it for me, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson basically screws up the entirety of Star Wars when he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to make Anakin into this great Jedi warrior. And they're like, Yoda's like,
They're like,
no,
okay, but
man, bro,
no,
that'd be a
that's
bad
a
idea.
bad call."
He's too powerful. We can't do that.
And he's like, listen.
And then he's like,
Wouldn't it be
Obi-Wan,
cool?
I've come back from the dead, just to let you know. Spoiler alert. I've come
Yeah.
back from the dead.
I mean,
just to let you
spoiler
know.
Spoilers to Star Wars
How did that
Episode
come
1.
out, 15 years ago at least.
Spoilers Star Wars Episode 1 and 2 are good because then you don't have to watch the movie.
Then you have to watch it. Okay, so, spoiler alert. Liam Neeson comes back from the dead, is like, Obi-Wan, train this Padawan. Go against Yoda's wishes. It won't turn out bad. There are no droids here. These are not the droids you're looking for, Yoda. And Yoda's like, I don't understand what's going on when he shows up. And he's like, I've actually taken him as my apprentice. And screw you, Yoda. I will basically go with Liam Neeson because Liam Neeson's voice is addicting. And then that's how Star Wars 2 happens.
I'm pretty sure anyone who's never seen Star Wars or Star Wars 2 will totally understand that synopsis.
I didn't follow that synopsis at
I've
all.
seen it, I
follow
didn't follow that at all.
People come to Last Play for their very bad summaries of popular movies.
Yeah.
You know, I can do other movies. It's an on-request, on-demand service.
Okay,
If I've seen them.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Well, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is basically a movie where a guy rides a motorcycle with a baby, and that's how the movie starts. This motorcycle shows up, he's got a baby, nothing makes sense. And he, drops this baby off at a house, and he's like, you guys will take care of it, right? And they're like, it's all standing around or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, this couldn't possibly go wrong. Fast forward, everything goes wrong.
Yeah, it's because of a horrible life.
And then, he's older, because that's the fast forward part, and he's like, gets this magical letter in the mail that's like, "You're a wizard, Harry!" And Harry's like, "I guess I am!" And then he goes to his school and he's like, "I have a bad feeling about this teacher." And everyone's like, "No, man, you're just like smoking too much dope. It's just a bad feeling. You just ignore it." And he's like, "No, seriously, something's going wrong." And they're like, "Nah, man, everything's fine. And then something seriously goes wrong.
Turns out he had
Turns
two
out he's
faces.
And that's actually the synopsis for every Harry Potter movie, where Harry Potter's like, "Something's really wrong with this thing,
Everyone's
guys."
like, "Harry."
And literally everyone's like, "Harry,
Don't worry about
take it down to a 2, man." And Harry's like, I can't, puberty's happening to me and everything's going to hell.
Also, I have a really traumatic life, so I'm pretty messed up.
And that was actually the synopsis of every Harry Potter movie. Harry Potter whines about something that's happening.
but he has a
and
legitimately
he's
traumatic
legit
life.
right every single time about who's the bad guy.
That is true.
I don't like
Yeah.
when people say he whines, because he has a really crappy life. I mean, his parents were dead before he was, like, capable of remembering them ever.
I mean,
he loses, like, and then he, like, grew up with really abusive people, and then he, like, finds family in
here's the
Sirius,
thing.
and then Sirius dies. Like, he, like, just,
you're
like,
missing the important part of not having crappy life.
trauma.
As a wizard, you're never gonna have to do the dishes or laundry.
Okay, but he still has trauma. He's not whiny. He's depressed because trauma.
Have you never read the fan fictions? You don't have trauma if you don't have to do laundry.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
but
trauma is
no.
healed by
All
the
trauma
absence
is
of
healed
laundry.
by the absence of laundry.
No.
You heard it here first on
No.
Last Play.
As someone who's bad at doing their laundry, no, that's false.
Depressed? Get a
false.
washing machine.
Well, yeah, you haven't done your laundry,
But
therefore
if
the
you
trauma
had a
persists.
magic, yeah.
What? I'm confusion.
Yeah, not having to do laundry heals trauma.
Yeah, but I don't do laundry that often because I have too many clothes.
Because you have to, but you still have to do the laundry. That's the
I
thing.
just punched myself in the nose.
Well, I
not
can't help you
punched.
with that trauma.
Not punched. More
I actually
accurately, like
Really like Harry
really
Potter
hard.
for the most part, but I do feel like there's sections where, like, that Harry should just learn that nobody's literally going to listen to him about when he's wrong about anything, and should just like stop complaining and just do
He's
it.
gotta McFrickin' do it.
Instead of being like, "Guys, we have to go to the teachers because something's wrong" or whatever. Like,
Well, yeah,
I just
because
talked to
especially
Dumbledore.
because like his friends would try to help him, and he's like, "No, let me do it alone." Like, so like, why? Why does
Yeah.
he tell people? Why doesn't he just
why
do
doesn't
it?
he just be like, "Wow, something's wrong. I'm gonna show up at this exact time,
I'm
exact
just
date, and I know
gonna
something's
take
gonna
care
go
of
down,
it
and I'm
all
gonna
on
take
my
care of this
own."
drug deal all by myself."
This
like-
drug deal.
Have you seen Harry Potter? Half of it's a bit of a drug trip. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
there's
a
a
potions
potions class. Let's learn how to brew potions
Potions
of love.
surprise! Potions class was just a big metaphor for drugs. Hacked. We hacked Harry Potter.
You know what? Potions was a big metaphor for drugs.
Potions,
No, it wasn't.
potions was a mistake.
If anything in that series was a metaphor for drugs, it was divination. All right. If anything, counterpoint. Okay.
Or tea.
Or what?
Or tea.
It was divination.
I'm pretty sure
You
there are
know
some-
Hermione's too straight edge for drugs.
That's why she hated divination so much.
Yes! That's what I'm
Guys!
saying! She's too straight edge.
You have to stop going to that class where you come back all dazed and confused. Can we
Yeah.
stop? It's not 1980.
You know
can't-
I'm right!
Yeah. Divination was probably a metaphor for drugs.
And like, if you think about Trelawney as a human being, like, it just makes sense, okay?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like Harry Potter was just
Oh,
a metaphor for puberty.
let me put my hands all over your wounds.
Or, I mean,
Like that coming of age.
Being-
I guess.
Kinda
like-
It's
Well,
coming
it was, a
story.
lot of it was a big
kind of
metaphor
just like
for,
flying
like,
angrily in
racism.
circles.
Yeah, there's a lot of racism.
Like, systemic racism.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because, I mean, she was guilty of being a little racist in her books, but it's fine. You know. As you do.
As happens, it just happens.
Like,
Yeah.
Cho, Chang, like, the names Cho and Chang are, like, not of the same ethnicity, which is awkward. You're like,
Hey,
okay.
maybe mixed race parents. You don't know. You don't know.
Okay, but, like, I think you're giving her a little too much credit.
I mean, Probably.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Ooh.
helicopter.
That was only 3%.
I mean, it's also a children's
Yeah.
book that actually did fairly well for itself.
Okay, but children's book. This woman was so well researched and like knew how all 7 books were gonna go before she started. You can't tell me that she had an oversight of, oh, oops,
As-
I gave two different ethnicity names.
As a writer, knowing how the books are gonna go is not exactly
That's
a high
like
bar
a
to fill.
Yeah.
No, but you know those books are highly detailed and like elaborate, and like when you read the series over, the things you read, you're like, oh snap, that's a huge foreshadowing, but like not when you haven't read the rest of the series. Like reading it again is like, holy crap, it's a totally different experience.
But at the same time, it's very easy to make things foreshadowing in post. Because
What do you mean in
like,
post?
In editing?
not in editing,
Oh,
just like 2 books down the line, just like, oh yeah, I did this, I said this weird thing, like, in book 1, maybe I'll just make that foreshadowing now. Like,
That
that's
is
a
true.
very
I mean-
easy thing to do.
I don't know about that.
Because it's very easy for things to become foreshadowing just because something happened later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not particularly indicative of, like, really good writing that there is foreshadowing.
The interesting part, too, is, like, you read them and the first book feels very final. Like, it feels like a one-off.
Yeah, like it could be a one-off.
Yeah.
And that's important, especially for your first book. You don't want
Yeah.
to leave it explicitly on a cliffhanger, because
Yeah.
then anyone who picks it up early just feels cheated, like they didn't get a full experience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're just doing this to set up for the sequel. And
That's like that series I read. What's it called? The one that's based off Wizard of Oz. Dorothy Must Die or something. It was like really good. Like it was.
Is it Wicked?
No, it's not
Oh,
Wicked.
it's a
But
different
it's
one.
like a series of like. Basically, Dorothy got out of control and she's like a tyrant, and so like they like go to take her down. And the book was really, really good, and I was so into it. And then the end of the book was like just not really cliffhanger, but like incomplete because it was clearly a lead up to like the next book. And so I got so mad, I like rage quit the series. I was like, no, that's
Yeah.
a stupid ending. I'm mad. That was not
that's
good.
specifically why my novel right now is 600 plus pages, because the only natural place to end it halfway through would
do
be
that.
exactly that.
Would do that. Yeah.
It's like, here, let me set up all of this important plot stuff and like set up this
And then be
interesting
like,
story, and then like
"See ya."
halfway through it'd be like, bye, you don't get to see how it ends.
There's
Yeah.
also an interesting point, like, depending on your audience. I know, like, specifically for books targeted toward children, and there always are going to be exceptions to the rule. I remember, like, reading interviews with one of my favorite authors, and actually, I saw her in person at one of those, like, book reading things. And she talked about writing children's books before Harry Potter, like teen kind of fiction before Harry Potter and after Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because before Harry Potter, when she'd take books to her publisher would actually say, you have to turn down the pages. It has to be, like, under 300 pages, because
Yeah.
kids can't read that, and even though they're, like, 12 to 15...
Kids don't know how to read.
No one's gonna read a long book. They're not gonna pick it up or buy it. But Harry Potter, like, writing books
Changed
after
that.
Harry Potter, like, her books went from being, like, 4 books in a little set to 2 books. Because
Yeah.
they kind of got to the point where, like, well, I mean, if they read The Goblet of Fire, how many pages
Yeah.
are they really gonna be intimidated by?
Yeah.
But the only book series I can think about writing really long books before that would be Philip Pullman's Dark Materials were really long.
Yeah.
But they put those in the 9 to 12 section, but they really could be adult books.
Yeah, the best young adult fiction is this kind of stuff that like really anyone could read it, but it's specifically tailored towards young adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have like inappropriate themes for young adults.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is, but it's written in such a way that most people can enjoy it.
Yeah, because I think that's like the good, because kids do not like being talked down to,
No,
Yeah.
and
no.
so you want to make sure that you're not like, ooh, we can't put like serious content in it. It has to be all rainbows and daisies the whole way through. It's
You
like,
don't
no.
ever want them to feel like you're babying them.
Well, and that's why I think books like The Hunger Games were so successful, because it was a young adult series that came out that didn't really have anything too inappropriate for
Nothing
young adults,
too
like-
gruesome.
yeah, nothing that would be like uncomfortable to read or to read with your kids. Like, that's the other thing. I don't think like a young adult book can be something that you're like, oh, I'm reading this to my 12-year-old or reading this with my 12-year-old and I feel uncomfortable about it.
Yeah,
but they did deal with at least topics that were felt fairly adult, and the writing was fairly like at a decent level for most people.
Like, and that's sort of like the sweet spot for young adult fiction. It's serious content in an accessible delivery.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the difference between books for kids and books for young adults. That's like, because books for kids is like, when you're talking to a 7-year-old, you don't want to give them serious content because it's very difficult for a 7-year-old to grasp complex story structures.
Well, and the other thing I find that's really interesting is the 9 to 12-year-old type books, especially some of the ones that are really well written, are actually some of the better young adult books as well. Because a lot of the books that are marketed specifically toward teen fiction are, and I understand because of the age, they're all tailored toward relationships. But not everybody wants to read about, like, relationships. Like, how many times can you read the same book about the summer romance of this mysterious character they met at summer job, working, and then they, you know, happen to just have this connection, they fall in love, and then they don't see each other, and then they get together. Like...
Yeah, essentially, how many times can you read the story of Greece?
Read the same story?
Yeah.
And it's always summer, right? Like...
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah.
teenagers, it makes sense. It's like, that's their time off school.
Yeah, like, it makes
Exactly.
sense, but it's the same formula, where I find, like, a lot of the 9 to 12 books, they're, like, adventure-based.
I wonder if that dance will come this way again. I don't know why, but her dances really pepped me up and let me take another turn. Even after a hard day's work, I just felt like I'd just woken up. It sure would be nice if she would dance for me again someday. That's it?
That's it.
Right?
Did I?
Is that, what is that a house? Doesn't.
This looks like a bar, actually. It's an inn.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense.
Mm.
I can't Shakira thing.
Neither can I.
So weird.
Shaking the tones of your voice.
I love that vine of like, I mentioned it earlier already to Selena, of like Shakira trying to touch water when it's too hot, and then just like runs the tap, pokes her hand into the water, and then is like, "Rah!" It's like so funny. I died. "Rah!"
It's too hot!
It's a vine. She doesn't have time to say that much.
That was not 6 seconds.
Okay, but that's literally what happens.
You get a lot of story content in 6 seconds.
No, that's all. I'm telling you, that's all that happens.
I know. Alright, and next time on Last Play, we continue talking about what happens in Vine.
I don't know what Vine
in
is.
singular vine.
In singular Vine.